Hi, this is Rainbow Harmony here to help you find balance and peace to live a more colorful life. And this is an unboxing of my new decks. So before I show you guys what new decks I got, I just wanted to thank you guys because everyone here who is purchasing personal readings is supporting me in this channel and actually helped me to purchase these new decks. So I want to thank you guys so much for that. You guys know that I'm pretty old school, okay? All of the decks that I actually have, and I'll show you guys the decks I have real quick and tell you their names because I know you guys ask questions about this a lot. A lot of these decks are decks that stumbled across my path at like a really important moment and like spoke to me or were actually in fact gifted to me. And traditionally it's said that tarot will find you if it's meant to, and you know, maybe you shouldn't purchase a deck, it should be given to you. Now, I don't really 100% think that, you know, everyone should adhere to that, but I kind of always have. So, but I just figured right now it's time to get some new decks. I'm about to move somewhere new, I'm about to travel somewhere new for a while, and there's a lot of shifts coming in my life, and so I figured now is a great time to get some new decks. So I'm going to show you guys and tell you guys about the decks I have real quick, and then I'll unveil to you my new decks. But I also wanted to say, to celebrate my new decks, I'm offering a 15% discount off anything on my website, off any of my personal readings, off video chat sessions, off of my coaching. So if you would like to get 15% off, all you have to do is enter in the code MAGIC at checkout. And if you want to purchase through PayPal instead, you can just email me. I'll leave all the info in the comments and in the description below. And it's going to be valid just for the next couple days only. So if you were already thinking about getting a reading, this is a great time to go for it. But by all means, do not feel pressured to purchase a personal reading from me. I do appreciate those that support me, but you can support me simply by watching my channel, thumbs up on videos, commenting, and all of that. And so thank you guys all for your support. So this is my Enchanted Tarot deck. I absolutely love this deck. I think it's a great deck to start with. I really don't have much to say about it. I've written a lot of notes in the book. I suggest that if you're reading for yourself a lot or reading for others, you know, don't be afraid to write in the book or to underline things or whatever, unless you really like to keep everything nice and pristine, because it's your book, it's your guide, and you can do kind of whatever you want with it. So this is my Enchanted Tarot deck. Absolutely love this. It's a good go-to. I find that I use this a lot for career readings and also love readings. I like to separate all of the court cards and draw like from that just a pile of the court cards to get the personality type of maybe somebody who's coming in your life or a romantic partner or something, so that's fun. Next, I've got the classic Wild Unknown Tarot. I don't know where my guidebook is for this, it's around here somewhere, but this is actually a gift from one member of the Rainbow Harmony family, so thank you, you know who you are. I've really been loving this deck. It's very me. I love the rainbow colors, and you guys have been loving the illustrations. It's very easy to use. The book has really simple, clear kind of messages for each card, and it's a classic tarot deck with a little bit of an artistic twist to it. Next, this is the deck. Whoop, we got a message for you guys. This is a deck that everybody wants to know. I think the biggest question I get asked here overall on my channel is always like, what is the name of this deck? And if you go to my community section and you scroll back a little bit, I posted a link to how you can purchase this deck. It's called Universal Angel Cards. So if you just type that in, Universal Angel Cards, you'll probably see like a book or like a symbol that looks just like this card. And these are just cards with like words on them. And I find that people really connect with this deck because they like, you get literal words, and when they come out together, it's as if like you're getting specific instructions, like, and the guidebook that comes with it is amazing and like has so many different meanings. It's very thorough, very in-depth, and if you're like a word person or a writer, like this is going to be a good deck for you because it has a bunch of different words on it, and it's just easy to grab a message. It's a good clarifier deck too. Sometimes I'll pull a spread and I'll be like, crap, I pulled too many cards. Like what does this really boil down to? and I'll pull one card from this deck or maybe two, and it just sums it up nicely. And then next we've got Old Faithful, my Wildwood deck. This is the source of a lot of you guys love this deck, but there's also a lot of criticism I get here on this channel about this deck because it's so torn up. But this deck has been with me through everything. This is the first deck that I worked with. I've had it for maybe like 4 or 5 years or something. I learned tarot with this deck, and it has amazing energy. I usually start with this deck when I do personal readings for you guys, and it's rare that you're gonna find a video on my channel where I'm not using this deck because this deck knows all. This deck is so deep. The book is everything. Like, even if you don't know how to read tarot, if you get this book, like, oh my gosh, we pulled the sun. It's so deep, and it's just so beautifully written. It makes sense to me. It's a really approachable, logical tarot deck. So I would say this is a good deck for people who are skeptics about tarot, maybe people who don't really believe in tarot or don't really want to use it to like tell the future, but just maybe want to pull cards to just kind of inspire them every day or something like that. And this would be a good deck for that because it's just down to earth. It's very practical. It's very earthy. And I just find that so many different people that I have read from this deck really love it. I'd also say it has a really strong masculine energy. When I'm reading for someone with a strong masculine energy, or like somebody who's a male, or really identifies with male or male energy, male gender or whatever, they tend to really love this deck and aren't intimidated by it. And so this is a great deck. Next, this is really random, but I got this here in the country I'm in, Georgia, and I just needed a deck for timelines. I was like, I think it's really good to have a deck, and if you're really doing a lot of timeline readings and wanting predictions on stuff like that, or just cycles, I think just having a deck of playing cards is really good for that. Sometimes I'll take out these cards and just leave the numbers in, and I'll be able to tell like if it's weeks or months or days or something, or like how long a certain cycle is. And sometimes yes or no. I'll just be like, if the card is red, it's yes. If it's black, it's no. And I'll just pull, a yes or no card from it. So this deck kind of took me a while to get used to because it was just a playing card deck, but then it just kind of started speaking to me, and I've been using it more and more, and I think it's nice to have a separate deck that you assign like one task or maybe just a couple different tasks and keep the energy surrounding the deck all about that. It'll get stronger as you use it for a specific purpose over time. And then last but not least, we see another torn up deck that I love, and it has such great energy. Like, I don't replace the deck until it rips, and even then, like, sometimes I'm just like tempted to just tape it back together or something because it's all about the energy that's in the deck. This deck I use for love readings. You guys have seen it so many times. It's so on point. So many other tarot readers here on YouTube use this deck. And it's so versatile, and it has so many beautiful messages in it, and I just feel like it gets down to the point. It also is really equal. Some decks I feel like are misleading when you're doing love readings because it's like soulmate, love, happiness, everything's great, but like this deck has some real stuff in it. Like, it's like release your ex, like this is some real stuff, deception, like there's some intense stuff in here that's just saying, look, like you got to get down to the truth of an issue sometimes in a love situation. It's not gonna lie to you. It's not gonna tell you that someone's into you when they're not. It's a deck that's like real and like tells you what needs to happen. Also focuses on self-love, and it's legit. Like, so many crazy, amazing messages have come through this deck for people that it's very accurate. I feel like the more that you use a deck, the more energy you put into it, especially if you're reading professionally, like you start seeing patterns and you start kind of seeing how the deck has different messages for everyone, and it's pretty cool. Like, this is legit. Okay, so on to my new decks. Are you guys ready? So I have one more deck. It's a love deck still coming in the mail, but here's what I have so far, okay? So I got the Winged Enchantment Oracle deck by Leslie Morrison. Artwork is by Lisa Hunt. Does anyone else have this deck? I think it's really unique. This is a deck that is all about birds, and I'm obsessed with birds. Anybody who knows me knows I'm obsessed with birds. The only pet I've owned myself as an adult has been a bird. I had 2 birds. One of them passed away. Another one I had to give away to somebody to adopt before I went on this journey of traveling, which was really sad. But I still think about my birds every day and talk about them every day, and I can feel their energy around me, and I love birds. And I could go on and on, you guys, but I definitely have a special connection with birds. I see them everywhere I go. I know all the names of the birds. Like, I always like to get apartments or houses that have multiple stories, or like right now I'm living in a place that's like high up on almost the top story of this building. And so I see eagles, and I see seagulls, and I see magpies, and I see all the birds, and I always like can tell like the different energy that's around me because of the birds and the meanings of them. So I figured this would be really cool to share with you guys. So let's unbox it. I've actually already, oh no, there we go. Don't know how to open it. I've actually already opened this because I just couldn't wait, but I want to share this with you guys. Okay, so first of all, how bossy does this look against my backdrop? You guys know I love this color. I feel like using this kind of fuzzy blanket with the cards, and it's dark, kind of helps you really focus on the imagery in the cards. And I just like the way it looks. I tried using a white one before. I just like this background. So I think the cards really pop against this. The only thing that kind of bothers me about this deck, I'll be completely honest, is I'm worried if this is like cultural appropriation or not. Because some of these images on here do kind of look a little bit Native American, but at the same time it's kind of ambiguous. It's just kind of tribal in general. I really love this deck, so I'm going to keep it. I hope it doesn't come across that way to anybody. I can barely even claim this, but I do have Native American roots. Legitimately, Pocahontas is actually was my I think 8th or 9th great-grandmother. So she's like my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother or something like that. John Rolfe was actually in my family tree. She married in. And yeah, we have like books and family tree stuff that, you know, that actually states that. And so it's pretty cool. But of course, it's nothing that I would ever claim as like real heritage. I really feel those spiritual and ancestral roots inside of me, but I'm very careful not to culturally appropriate, especially in this day and age. But I don't know. I think I'm going to keep using this deck. I noticed as I was flipping through that some of the images were kind of Native American, but I also see like other types of ancient tribes and stuff like that in here. And so I think it just really matters when it comes to that kind of stuff, how you're using it, how you're looking at it, and to be really careful with that kind of stuff. But anyways, let's flip through this deck, okay? So we've got all the birds in here. I love that all my favorites are in here. Dove, crow. What I like about these images is that I feel like I can really get lost in them. I feel like there's a lot of energy and a lot of light, and it will, I think it's really going to help with like images and clairvoyance and divination. This is my favorite because I love parrots. That's the kind of bird I used to have. So cool. Also, this book is incredible. It's small, but like there's like a poem almost that's written for every single bird, and it's so great. I feel like I can find a million different ways to use this deck. The one thing I've realized though is it will get right to the point with you about what needs to happen in your life, or like where you're at or what's going on. So I have a reading that you can purchase on my website called like, what is your next step? And it's just for anybody who's just like, what's my next step? Like, what do I do? You know, what's going on in my life? And I think I'll probably end up using this deck a lot for that. So just gonna flip through this really quick. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull a card and I'm gonna ask, what medicine does this deck have to offer you guys here as the Rainbow family, or anybody that I'm doing a reading for, or just, I already pulled a personal card from each deck about like what medicine the deck has for me and what it's here to teach me about and the influence it's gonna have in my life. But I kind of want to see like how it's going to help you guys and affect you, and just how I'm going to be using it mostly here for you all. So let's do that. we got two. Okay, so we got Blue Jay and Blackbird. So let's look at this. I already know a little bit about the Blue Jay and the Blackbird, but I'm interested to see what the book has to say. I'll just read it to you guys. All right, so this is what the deck wants to help you guys with. I am Blue Jay, the advantage of a quick wit and intellect. I am the first one heard. I am the brightest one seen. I command attention and dive right in. I fear nothing and I take what I need. I am the crucial adaptation of a successful life. I have the discipline to master new skills. It is fine to learn new things, but dabbling in too many will keep you scattered. I am the need to follow through. I wear the crown of achievement. I am the proper use of knowledge. You may need to be louder to get what you want. You may have to outsmart the others, but do not be afraid to draw attention to yourself. Let the world know you are there and ready to take control. I am incomparable in self-certainty. I am the victory of taking by sheer will. Get out into the world and take what you have worked so hard for. Sorry, you guys, I have dyslexia, so reading can be hard. You all know that about me. You are presence, you are survival, you are bold ambition, you are Blue Jay. Wow. Okay, so definitely what I'm getting out of here is that this deck is gonna help you guys like to find your success and to kind of drill down on what needs to be done, and feel more certain about yourselves and get that encouragement to kind of get out there and make things happen. And I'm all about that on the channel. I'm always talking about that, so that's pretty cool. The next is Blackbird, which is right here on the other page. I did shuffle and sort this deck really well, so that's kind of cool that these came out together. So, I am Blackbird, the enchantress of the soul. I am melodious and hypnotic. I am the transporter of the mind from one state to another. I am bringer of omens. I will entrance you with my song and open the portals of spirit. I break through boundaries and remove whatever separates you from eternity. If you have strayed into my woods, something enchanting is afoot. Mystery has tempted you. The magical realms have seduced you. I can align you with the earth and the energy that encircles it. You are hearing the whispers of the ancients and calls of the deep woods. Look beyond everything and see the layers. Listen carefully, be alert. Let go and embrace the experience. You are captivating, you are limitless, you are ethereal, you are Blackbird. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to take from this message that this deck will definitely connect you with like the magic of life and different possibilities, maybe even help you on your manifestation journey. So that's really cool. Oh my gosh, you guys. So anybody who purchases a reading from me, after you see this message, I will be using these decks. I'm going to throw them in right away. And today, if I can get enough personal readings done, then I will post pick a card reading for you guys with my new decks involved. It'll probably be called Pick a Card with My New Decks or something like that. So look out for that. Okay, now we have this deck. How many of you guys have this deck? It's a fairly popular deck. And I actually have had experience with this deck. My friend came to visit me when I was still living in Southern California, and she like left this deck at my place for like a week, and I asked her, I was like, can I use this? So a long time ago, I think I did a pick a card reading or two, and maybe even a couple personal readings using this deck, because I just couldn't resist the temptation. I did have her permission. And I just loved it. I just thought it was so on point, and it was so easy to just get the messages from it, and I just felt really connected to it. I'm not really that big on the illustrations or anything, but I mean, it's pretty and stuff. It's not like my style or anything, but I'm more here for the message of this deck. Whoa, it's very slippery. I gotta break this deck in. Believe it or not, when I got this deck, it used to be exactly like this, like the exact same type of, because they use the same publisher. It was like literally just like this, just as slippery and fresh, and like it had gold on the side. So I know I'll break this in. You guys know how I do, but I love decks that have this on the side. I also think because it's slippery, it's kind of easier for cards to just shoot out, which is cool in readings. There's a lot of cards here, so I'm not going to flip through all of it. I'm just going to show you guys like some of them, okay? So there's some pretty cool message. That's what I like about it, is you can get like a big, like a couple sentences of a specific message. I think this is a good clarifier deck. It's similar to a regular tarot. It's 78 cards, but it's like it's like kind of a tarot spin-off deck. I already went through and sorted this card. See, like the illustrations, I don't want to like, I think this artist is amazing. It's just not really my style. Kind of weird sometimes. I don't know. But for me, it's not always about the artwork. It's not always like this is cool, you know? This is like trendy. Like I like this deck over here. Like, but for me, this is more about the messages and the energy behind this deck. And I know I already have a bond with it. I've been wanting to get this deck like forever. I just think this is going to be on point. I remember using this deck and just being like, wow, like I could know anything. It's so on point. So let's pull a card and ask, what is this deck like what kind of energy and medicine is this deck going to bring to the Rainbow Fam, or like bring to you? What is it going to help with? What is it here for? You know, I'm going to split the deck and pull because it's just too slippery right now. I need to break it in some more. Okay. Ooh, we got the 7 of Summer. Also, I like that this is like a seasons deck, because you guys know I'm always talking about the season and the energy of the seasons and the cycles in our lives. So this is no more and look, there's a rainbow here. Oh my gosh, not like any of these other cards I don't think have rainbows on them. So I asked, like, what message does this have for the Rainbow Fam? We get the rainbow card. That's interesting. No more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from overanalyzing the options. That's something that tarot can really help with, you guys, is helping you to like pick an option or figure out what you really want. And that's what whenever I can't make a decision, I hit my deck and I'm pulling options. And I love that. I love helping people figure out what they want. I will never make a choice for you guys. I'm not here to do that. I'm not here to give you permission. I'm not here to make a choice for you. But I do help you guys to look at the different options and the pros and cons and weigh things out and like unveil things. And I love that about the tarot. I love sharing that with you. So I feel like that's definitely what this deck is here for, is to really drill down to the point and help everybody kind of figure out what they want, how to move forward, what's important. So 7 of Summer, let's just read this real quick. I don't even know this yet. 7 of, where is it at? Here we go. So, the message here is, there are pros and cons to virtually every decision. The situation you're currently in is demanding a choice from you, and procrastination is simply no longer an option. What you decide involves actions that may benefit you physically, emotionally, financially, intellectually, or spiritually. Recognizing that you always have a choice is a great realization about your personal power. However, it also means that you are responsible for the outcome of your choices. The moment to choose has arrived. You could make a list of every possible alternative and evaluate it, or you could ask the universe and your angels for guidance. But the time to choose is now. Daydreaming can be a lovely way to get insight into a challenging situation, or it can be a way to avoid taking action. Oh, this is some realness here, you guys. Make sure that your imaginings serve a productive and positive purpose. Make a plan to put your dreams into action one step at a time. And then it describes the card. It says, a fairy allows sunlight to shine through a prism onto a bed of white roses. The roses indicate that his intentions are pure, but the prism shows that there are many possibilities. Additional meanings of this card: wishful thinking, needing to regain focus, overanalyzing, too many choices, receiving guidance to detox. So I I love decks that are just like very practical and like remind you that you have the power and reminds you like this is up to you. You know, some people think tarot or getting messages is going to solve all their problems, but it really just takes it back to you. It reflects you back to yourself. I think that's a good tarot deck. I love decks that are just like very logical, to the point, because tarot's kind of, that balances the intuitive nature of tarot. When you have a deck that's really grounded and solid and brings it back to you, that's just the best. And that's what I love about this deck. It's just really practical wisdom, you know? It's very practical, and that's what I'm all about, is just practical wisdom. So yes, you guys, let me know what you think about my new decks. I'm really happy. I will unveil my love deck really soon and probably do like a twin flame soulmate reading for you guys with it. And I just can't wait to get started. So I'm going to stop this video right now, and I'm going to head off and do more personal readings I have to do on my list. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And remember, if you would like to get to celebrate with me, you can get 15% off by entering in the code MAGIC at checkout on my website. All the information will be below. And I'll see you later. Peace out.